Hi, here again with the Peavey Classic 30, a continuation video from the last one. This might be of interest to some people. In fact, a lot of people who own one of these because they have a reputation of running very hot. In fact, too hot, too much current flow. Burn up the valves really quickly. They get very loud and very harsh and unpleasant, and can be a costly experience. So what I've done to this, let me get back to the basics. This is a fixed bias amp. There is no external means of adjusting the bias. There's no internal means of adjusting the bias unless you modify the circuit slightly. Now I've done to this what I've done before on these because they are a horror story. You go on the internet and you'll find dozens and dozens of owners of these complaining about the same problems. In fact, Peavey actually later changed this format for this design of this amp in about 2020, I think, according to the internet. Anyway, I've never seen a new model. I've always been the older ones. Like this is the Tunnel of Hell version. In itself a bit of a nightmare, but there you go. This was run at 75, nearly 80% dissipation. It was red hot. It was harsh and horrible. So after I'd done all the other repairs on it that I needed to do, I fired it up, and true to form, that's how it was. So I thought, just get it back out again and sort the problem out. So as I said before, this is a fixed bias. There's no means of adjustment. But you can, if you know what to do, you can change value of one resistor in here and increase that resistor, which is the last resistor in the bias circuit, before it goes to the actual power tube main board. It will change that resistor to a slightly higher value, very slightly. In this case, just 1,500 ohms more, resulted in less of the negative bias voltage being dumped to ground and more of the negative bias voltage arriving at the power tubes, which then brought it down to a very acceptable 65% dissipation. As you can see here, we've got 27.4 milliamps of current draw, and that equates almost exactly to 65%, which is absolutely perfect. That's exactly where we want to be. You don't really want to be any higher than that unless you're mad and you've got an endless wallet full of money and you like really loud stuff and don't care. But most people like to have their amps a bit sweeter and a bit more usable. As you can see, it's very stable. New set of valves throughout here, all JJ ones I put in this time. People go on about, oh, they just plug and play, but that's not strictly true. So they're self-biasing and all this rubbish, but that is in a broad spectrum. They will try and adjust, but through different tubes and different batches of the same tube, there will be hot ones, medium warm ones, and cool ones, which will affect how much current is drawn through them tubes. So that's not exactly true, all this talk about a plug and play. You might be able to put some in and you might be lucky, but I'd rather sort the problem properly. As you can see, this is absolutely lovely. 65%, 27.2 milliamp draw. Look at that. Almost zero noise. It's plugged into this little tester speaker here. That is great. Okay, thanks for that one. Hope you enjoyed it, and on we go with the job. Bye bye.